All right, we're going to look at the S&P 500 for a 1 to 3 month outlook with a special look at the Nasdaq. When we look at this and discuss why 13% is what we're going to look at, why a negative 13% is what we expect for a coming correction in the stock market. So let's move over into the SPY. I'm going to reduce that chart right over there, which was gold. If you didn't see that gold dollar analysis, please go back and watch that. You're going to find it very interesting. So here is cycle analysis on the S&P 500. We, for weeks and weeks and weeks, have been talking about the market still in good shape, and potentially our initial target was the SPY moving up to 423 with a probability or possibility, let's say, of getting up to 430 to 432. It is now 432.97 at its peak today at all-time highs. These are the cycle analysis in here. This is the big dominant cycle way out over there. This is the intermediate cycle there, and these are the minor half cycles that you see there. Now, when you get into the late portions of the cycle, you get corrections. This was a massive correction right over here, of course, because this was the COVID pandemic panic, looking back over here. This correction right over here, this little 4 weeks on the downside, was actually 10.8% down. This one, depending on which index you look at, between 5.8 and 7% down in a very strong condition. Now, on the SPX, there is another cycle that I don't have in here that is pushing to the downside right in here. That's joining these. It did also right over here. And when that happens, the potential for a decline of a greater consequence increases. And I'll show you that when I switch over to the Nasdaq. But let's talk about where we are right now as the market moves up to this area in here that we thought was a possibility for it to get up to. Now, you will note this top green line right up there is now projecting the possibility of 436. These are minor fib extensions that come off of this minor cycle, and over here is 445. These are the next two numbers if the market wants to panic on the upside and get up there. Of course, that is always a possibility. Now, we've had the corrective yellow oval here for a long time, and I've talked about this with our members, the importance of not jumping the gun, and we have not yet been bearish, and I have documented all of my last 10 weeks of videos where we were pointing up to these areas over here. It was likely the market was going to move up into late June or early July, and I'll put that together in a little montage so you could see the progression of the analysis. I'll share that probably in the next couple of weeks. And then getting to this period over here where the risks pick up. Now, even when you look back at that COVID decline, that was only about 4 weeks on the downside. This one over here, 6%, was 4 weeks. This one over here, 30-something% was 4 weeks. This was 4 weeks. This was about 3 weeks. And if we're looking for a decline into August, mid-August, late August here, that means the market could actually hold up yet for another couple of weeks before it decides to come down. Our momentum condition has turned up again, though it's been very flat. The momentum in the shorter term are all positive on all of the indexes. So the conditions are such that it has not given a sell signal yet, any indication of any selling. As I said in the beginning of the show, the last 2 weeks have barely had a downtick, as you can see right over here. So the market is likely to peak. It is likely to have a correction that will last somewhere between 3 and 5 weeks. And our expected correction on the S&P 500 is about 11%. That would be about an average correction, and that would take it down over here to the major 23 is where we're projecting it down, which is about 382 on the S&P 500. And of course, everybody's asking, well, the Fed's holding it up. There's no way it could fall. The market is way too strong. And all of that, at every one of these peaks that we're talking about, it was basically the same thing. So the declines come, and if you watch the beginning of the show, the valuations in the market are absurd, so that could bring a pretty good decline. So I want to look at the Nasdaq right now because I've had a lot of questions about, well, what makes you say 13% on the Nasdaq? Where does that come from? What is this timing? How do we make any sense of that? Well, those are great questions. So let's look here at the Nasdaq, and I gave you a little bit of a different look here, where we're going to go way back here to 2013, as you can see. Now, I put those same harmonics on this chart that are very similar to the S&P 500. So I want you to see there's basically a minor third in there. You can see the minor third bottomed here and here. And you can see the same thing right in here and right in here. So what are these periods where the market gets into bigger corrections? It's when there is a nesting of these cycles, like here and here. So back here in 2014, that was a decline of about 10%. You can see right in there. It's so small you could barely see it. This right over here was a decline into the nesting period of 18%. This was that mild 6% pullback in there in this extremely strong market condition. And this one was the taper tantrum for the Nasdaq. It fell 23.7%. This is important because we could get into a taper tantrum pretty soon. And this is your pandemic right over here where it fell over 30%. These are all periods where the cyclical patterns were nesting, as you can see right in there, where the corrective forces of the dominant cycle push down. You can learn about this by going to AskSlim.com, go to our workshop page, and you can see a video there which talks about this. So let's take a little closer look in here. And that is, again, 23.7%, 30%, the taper tantrum, the pandemic. I don't expect it to be anything like that right now. I think the market, there's too many people waiting to buy, but a correction is still likely. And that might make for a much choppier market top being made out here for coming months. But in the meantime, we're getting into this area right over here. Nesting right over here comes down into mid to late August. We're expecting 3 to 5 weeks on the downside to about that 23.6%. This fell to the 78% right there, 23%. This fell close to the 78%. We're only looking for the 23% here. That's nothing. And if it fell there, that would be 12.7% on the downside. So that's where we get this on the Nasdaq. It's very mechanical analysis when we look at this of these major cycles. And I think there's a wow factor when you look at this. And it offers what I think is a high probability that the stock market is going to be moving into a correction soon. Whether or not it's a bull market top, we don't know yet. And we won't know that until we correct and then see what the next rally looks like. And when the correction is over in late August, early September, right over here, we'll be in more rising phases. And look what these rising phases did. You can see they were monstrous on the upside as we've been in this bull market since 2009. That means that the market will have to tell us it's weakening and things will have to change. Right now, we're not talking about that. All we're talking about is this 12-year bull market and massively high valuations, which are likely to bring steeper corrections and maybe bringing a major market top. If you watched at what I looked at in the beginning of the show at the valuations of the stock market, it really says to me that there is a pretty good probability that the market is going to have a lot of trouble over the next 5 years. But we're just talking now about a few months. 1 to 3 month view, we'll be looking for a peaking in here and getting into this correction. The expected drop is about 11% on the S&P 500 or about 13% on the Nasdaq. If the market is much stronger and it's only like a 6% decline, then these are the supports that are going to hold it in that period right over there, and the market will tell us. It will stop falling in that area, and we'll know that the conditions, if that happens, are such that very likely you're going to be moving to a new high after that. So that, I think, is a good look at the next 1 to 3 months, a market that is moving up very, very sharply to the upside in here, and that is our 1 to 3 month look of the stock market, and I think it was a pretty good look at that. And I hope that you looked at it and found this analysis to be interesting. Maybe that cycle analysis is making a lot of sense. We are announcing that the special level 3 trial is available right now. This is for first-time subscribers and upgrades. If you're a level 1 or level 2 on our site, you can upgrade and get these specials. You're going to get unbelievable pricing, and you have to beat this price before the increase that we're going to have. We are raising our prices because our development that we're going into have done and coming is just amazing, and there are costs to that, and we are expanding our offerings constantly. We're going to bring you for level 3 the Slimulator ranking system. I'm going to show you what that looks like. 84 best symbols with cycle analysis, momentum analysis, bias conditions, and more. Our trade ideas, we do one new one every day with an amazing instructional video, and great results we've had in that. Level 4 custom chart requests, you're going to be able to see, and you can see now, the archive. And there are many of those that go up every week that our level 4 members request. And you'll be able to see those charts in static form and see that amazing analysis. You will get our chart streams. These are live multiple time frame charts with our proprietary indicators on there. 4 time frames that it looks at. I'll show you what that looks like also. And you will be invited to our exclusive live webinars where you can bring your general questions on trading issues, trade planning, chart analysis, all of that included. Let's look at what this looks like in here. This is the Slimulator ranking system of the 84 best symbols. You get amazing things in here. You're going to get our directional bias, which essentially is an algorithm built out of all of these multiple time frames that you see in here. These are all sortable when you look at that. And you're going to get our outlook for the next 3 to 6 weeks, which shows you what the conditions are. In the case of Boeing in here, technical analysis is mixed, and it favors awaiting further market messages. It is slightly bullish. If you look over here at Costco, it says that we have positive conditions, and it favors alongside bias. And then our charts are available here with all of our analysis in there. And there is more when you dig deeper inside of this. The next thing you'll be able to see is our key levels in there, where we tell you what our key support low level is right over there, and what the breakout level would be, and this one was confirmed on the upside. So we share key levels with you in there, and what we also share with you is our cycle low date. So in other words, if the market is likely to correct, what the time frames are that you're likely to see in the dominant or minor cycles on the weekly and on the daily. So you get our key dates in there. So you'll be able to look at the charts. You'll be able to scroll through the symbols and see which are the strongest and weakness, and even get our option bias indicator in there, which I think is just a fantastic indicator. So all of that in our Slimulator ranking system. The trade ideas, which come out every day, or just about every day. This is an example of what a trade idea looks like, and you can see in here MGM. This is presently inactive, so we're showing you an older one as an example. This is a long bias there, and it was a short-term trade setup, and we were looking for a reversal at the cycle timing. That's the type of trade that it was. Favorable entry range, the projected range, and the reevaluation level. Where is this trade no longer meeting our analysis, where we will pull it and say, you know, it no longer, it looks like a good setup. So this is great. And we give you the technical briefing in here of what really we're looking at. But if that isn't enough and it doesn't make sense to you, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to get the trade idea, and you'll be able to watch it. Arvi teaches you around every single one of these. Shows you the charts. You'll get those. You're going to get the charts included with cycle analysis, support resistance, projections, momentum, proprietary indicators on there, and Arvi's amazing instructional video on every trading idea. You're going to learn cycle analysis from the world's experts on our site right over here, and Arvi does Just an amazing job on that for trade ideas. And you're going to also get, and this just doesn't stop, our chart streams. These are live AskSlim charts with our proprietary indicators on multiple time frames for all styles of trading and investment. There right now are 7 streams that we have. There are more coming. SPX, NDX, Russell, SPY, QQQ, IWM, and GLD. And these are our indicators. You don't need a special platform. You just click on the site on the window and then click on that play right over there, and you have the live charts running for you with our weekly, daily, our 2-hour, and our 15-minute analysis on there and proprietary indicators. You can see in that where you have a 2-hour upward trend in here that's very clear, and these momentum signals telling you to the long side. Well, that says when the 15-minute gets to support, it's likely to be moving up again. So you get a good example of that. Daily chart strong, 2-hour chart strong, weekly chart strong. All of that as you're looking at the Nasdaq right over there. Just amazing when on these chart streams, and more of those coming. You're going to get everything there that I showed you, plus you're going to get everything in levels 1 and 2. The SIR daily snapshot, which is great deep short-term analysis on the indexes daily. The SIR daily intraday live grid, which gives you 15-minute charts with support, resistance, acceleration zones, the reversal scout on the S&P 500, Nasdaq, and the Russell. You're going to get our weekly Future Speak show. I take this deep dive into 24 futures, and I really do a tremendous amount of teaching in there on futures and the indexes. Our complete library, over 500 videos, 10 categories, many put in there weekly. Slimulator Momentum Tracker, this is for longer term holdings, over 1,000 symbols, multiple time frame algorithms that are built into that, give you the condition for 3 to 6 month outlook. Our weekly Spider Select ETF report, our trade planning worksheets that we offer you where you can organize, prioritize, save, and track your own analysis. All of that, can you imagine? Last call on the special Beat the Price increase. We're going to give you 1/3 off on the 3 months. That's $200, $200.25. That's $66.75 a month for all of that instead of $99 a month. So you're going to get 1/3 off, and it is an amazing deal. Prices are going up. It is time for you to get in on this right now. You will be grandfathered in. In other words, there will be no price increase, not for you. If you sign up, not for any of our current members. The prices are not going up for you. You will be grandfathered in. It would be only for new members on the, later in July when we raise these prices. So go to AskSlim.com, click on the link at the top of the main page for the special offer. If you want more info on that, on the specials for all levels, it is last call before all of those price increases. And you can write Matt at AskSlim.com if you have any trouble signing up or you have any questions. This amazing offer is only going to be here for a very brief period of time. Please do take advantage of that. Raise your probability of success in the markets. We always say, your success is our success.